team.
Good morning and welcome. Broadcasting from Site B, it is me, the OG GM. For some reason, I have 12-pack-a-day smoker voice. I don't know why, but I do. Probably the weather. It's Monday, I think. It's the day before the election, God help us. And it's time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, and general internet nonsense that we can chart our course by for the week. That's why it's our time to open up our maps, take out our sextant, and see what controversies are going to rattle the cage. Thankfully, it's a relatively quiet week yet again. Wizards of the Coast is hiding in the weeds, waiting to pounce on us with their next big announcement, which I'm sure we'll talk about on Wednesday. And the rest of the gaming community is relatively quiet as we spiral into the election and then Black Friday and the holidays. Now, you might be wondering why I'm doing it this way. That's because normally the site I get all my news from, EN World, for the second week in a row, hasn't posted the news. I don't know why. And I'm concerned because they're like one of my favorite sites to go to. So, yeah, it means I have to do more work, which is probably a good thing because it forces me to do more work. But they do have a gift to finding these stories and putting them together. And I cannot compete because I try and find these stories and I never find half of the ones they do. And since most of the tabletop role-playing game news stories are Wizards of the Coast related, it's hard to find ones covering not Wizards of the Coast stuff, but we do have a few. Of course, the first one is Wizards of the Coast. For anybody who cares, we can watch the voice actors who voice acted the characters in the video game Baldur's Gate 3 to play some D&D live. Is that Kim? No, it's not Kim. So you remember, yeah, it doesn't say who the yeah, no, it's not Kim. Looks like Kim, but it's not Kim. You don't know who I'm talking about. Whatever. So yeah, these are the voice actors who did the characters in Baldur's Gate 3, or some of them, and they're going to be playing a live action Baldur's Gate 3 themed adventure with Crawford hosting. Yeah, no one cares, but I have to mention it. Okay, probably the most exciting news for at least me and Aaron the Relentless and people who actually want to see good world building. Kevin Crawford is releasing a brand new game. It's Ashes Without Number. It is his take on post-apocalypse. It is not any one specific post-apocalypse setting, but sort of a cover-all of all the different types of post-apocalyptics, like zombie apocalypse and alien apocalypse, giant robot apocalypse. So it's sort of a cover-all of all the apocalypses, plus tons of world building, tons of backworld. I mean, if there's only one guy you back on Kickstarter and only one guy whose gaming stuff you get, you pick up the Worlds Without Number stuff. You pick up Stars Without Number. You pick up Worlds Without Numbers. You pick up Cities Without Number, Ashes Without Number. I mean, the guy's stuff is just amazing. He is the pinnacle that all other of us hope to achieve. I'm working on a goblin-centric post-apocalypse that tries to cover all the different apocalypses like I do, once again set in the fictional world of Fresno, Nevada, Cess, Gear, and Ammo. But I mean, knowing that this is going to exist makes mine sort of feel like, oh, great. Even if I get mine first, people are going to get like, oh, Kevin Crawford, the OG GM. Yeah, at least mine will be cheaper. Let's see what the Kickstart price is. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Not even a link to the Kickstart. Huh? No link to the Kickstart. Okay, I guess we have to go to Kickstarter. And try and find it. No link. You think you would put a link? Ashes Without Number. 26 days to go. It's got 2,619 backers. It's made 1,706,093 out of its 40. Yeah, so it's more than made its thing. Let's see. You can just do a $1 pledge. You can get the DRM free copy of the full game delivered through drive-thru for $25. You can get a print on demand and the DMR free PDF for $40. For $80, you can get the DMR free, the print hardback copy of the game, and backer's credit. So I would probably go for the just the PDF. I mean, it's just a source book to me. And 25 is like I could swing 25 for Kevin Crawford because his stuff's amazing. And you get it when you can. I've got his fantasy one. I don't have his space one, but they're just pick them up if you get a chance. So that's probably the best news I've got is Ashes Without Number being kickstarted. You can still check it out now. I'll put the link down below because they didn't do it for us. Let's see. We got some Magic the Gathering news. The Wizards of the Coast did, at least temporarily, that the Universe Belongs setting books for Magic the Gathering, like the Final Fantasy G.I. Joe, will now be legal in all formats. I'm sure a lot of Magic the Gathering fans are not going to like that. So all those broken Dinobot cards, the Final Fantasy cards, the Spider-Man cards, you can now play them in your regular Magic the Gathering decks along with all the other stuff. But of course, they're about to reboot Magic the Gathering. So that makes this announcement pointless. It'll be, it's canon in the current Magic the Gathering, but we're about to reboot Magic the Gathering and restart it for everybody, who's never played it or wants to get into it again. So that'll be a brand new Magic the Gathering, and it won't, just ignore it. The table of contents were leaked for the DM's guide. No one cared. We've got a lot of gift guides coming up because it's Christmas with all the sales coming up. I'm sure there'll be some good out there for if you want to pick up some marked down D&D stuff or even other games. And speaking of marked down D&D stuff, we got a huge hodgepodge of Dungeons and Dragons type figures available on Teemu. Teemu is one of those discount mega sites that ships from overseas, so it will take you a couple months to get it, but the prices are incredibly low, and it's just a wide, weird collection of stuff from all over the world that sort of makes their ways to these vast warehouses, and then these companies sell them for incredibly cheap, plus shipping, but they're shipping from, like Japan or Iceland or Mars. So it takes a really long time to get what you want. And then you forgot that you ordered it. And then a year from now, it shows up and it's like a surprise present. So we've got a whole bunch of figures on sale. Some of these look pretty cool. Some of these not so much. They're from various games and box sets and Etsy's and private collections and like old school toys like these or extra blisters from board games. Just a wide variety. It's fun to just watch these because, you can see stuff that we might not have seen here in the States for like figures and toys. Like we get green army men, but other countries might get green medieval warriors or green ninjas or whatever. There's a Tarask. Here's a Tiamat. There's a barbarian on a bear. That looks pretty cool. Just a wide variety of bizarre figures marked down. So if you're looking for some bulk cheap figures to use in your game or obscure weird figure you've never found anyone else and you're like, I really need this, well, maybe these might have them in here because they've got just a wide bizarre selection. And a Mimic. This is Teemu under their D&D figure sale. Now this is not game related, but this is an old friend of mine who I haven't seen in a long, long time. My old friend Paul. This is the 10th anniversary of his webcomic, The Glove. Paul is somebody I used to play games with a while back. He is a self-published creator of this webcomic called The Glove, which is relatively good. He was an amazing player. I loved playing with him because he always came up with these bizarre ways to resolve problems. And he was neurodivergent like me. So it was nice just to hang out with somebody who gamed and appreciated the things I appreciated. And yeah, his comic was fun. I was following it for a while, but then the pandemic happened and other things happened, and I stopped following it. But yeah, check it out. The 10th anniversary of my friend Paul's The Glove. Congratulations, Paul's, on your webcomic being that big and that popular. Yeah, 10 anniversary. So it's about a guy who finds a magic glove and then gets into all sorts of adventures. And so, yeah, sort of superhero, but not really. But yeah, you can find it online, his entire webcomic. So again, hey, Paul, wherever you are, congratulations on the 10th anniversary. And that is it for all the tabletop role-playing game non-Wizards of the Coast news, because you know we'll have the Wizards of the Coast news on Wednesday. We've got some uproars over people have finally starting to read the new DM's guide, and oh, what a shock, they're disappointed. And of course, Wizards of the Coast has already announced that there's errata for the DM's guide. The thing technically isn't even out yet, but there's already errata. People are upset about the new Bastion rules, which for some reason are in the DM's guide instead of the player's handbook. So we'll cover that on Wednesday. But for all the non-Wizards of the Coast news, I would normally go to EN World and get links to the stories there, but they are mysteriously missing in action this week. So once again, I have to find it on my own. So hopefully I did a good enough job. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If you don't appreciate this content, let me know. You still got 2 months to help me hit 2,000 subs. Let me know what I need to do to get you to subscribe to my amazing channel. Till next time, take care. Have a great day. I wish I could have explained my voice and why it sounds like I smoke 12 packs a day, but I can't. So here's music instead.
News from the table in the rolling waves. Dice in our hand, we're the dungeon's brave. Adventures tonight with our mighty team. Heroes we've become, living out the dream. Roll the dice, feel the thrill. Monsters we will overthrow. Questing with friends in the RPG show.